Hey everybody, I'm your ProjectCoe.com editor-in-chief Justin Joseph, and I'm here to help ease the suffering of all you hardcore Wii gamers out there. Sega's exclusive The House of the Dead Overkill could be just the game you've been looking for, and believe me, it needs to be supported. The House of the Dead is a well-known light gun shooter franchise, and with Overkill on Wii, you calibrate how far your on-screen reticule reaches the various edges of whatever monitor is being used, and it works very well. To shoot, you point your Wii remote at the sensor bar and press the B trigger underneath. When your ammo needs refreshed, pressing A takes care of that, meaning you're no longer required to shoot off-screen. The gun roster includes the AMS Magnum, pump and auto shotguns, an SMG, etc., and each carries 5 different upgradable stats. After finishing a location, you're awarded cash based on your overall point total and any specific accomplishments you completed. Actions such as chaining increasingly higher combos, shooting the cleverly placed golden brain pickups, and landing headshots all adds to your end score. It's a lot of great fun, and this element alone will keep you coming back. You do all this with the franchise's mysterious protagonist, Agent G, who's just emerging from the AMS Academy, and he's also not alone. Louisiana Bayou detective Isaac Washington is always at your side, and his mouth will certainly shock some people. Overkill is actually the new starting point of the House of the Dead timeline, as it's a prequel to the other entries. That means if you were expecting anything like the arcade machines, forget about that right now. You see, Overkill takes the series in a completely different direction. The presentation is inspired by films like Grindhouse, and the story is pretty disturbing. How ironic, then, that the writing doesn't take itself seriously whatsoever. If G and Washington aren't being heard ripping on one another, the over-the-top narrator brings the whole atmosphere to life with one-liners that you'd expect from 70s and 80s television. Behind the awesome grainy film filter are mutants that tie logically to each respective area, and their parts will fly as you blast them with your weapons. Arms and legs detach, and brain matter falls apart while soaring through the air as heads are exploded. If you activate the bullet time slow mofo mode by shooting a green pickup, this is even more satisfying. Overkill is nothing short of a gore fest, and the 7 nicely detailed and polished environments only serve to boost the fun factor. Unfortunately, problems do arise in the form of a horribly inconsistent frame rate and object clipping that tends to reduce the tension of not knowing when you may be ambushed next. Somehow this doesn't kill the experience though, so don't be discouraged from playing. I must point out though that G's and Isaac's cussing is borderline ridiculous at times, but I do admit that they share hilarious debates. But hey, at least there's jazz and dance club music that doesn't fit the game whatsoever, yet ironically complements it almost perfectly. Don't ask how, you have to play. Finally, if you can enjoy ProLogic 2's surround sound, those weapons will put the happy back into your day, any day. Now people, this is House of the Dead, which means co-op action and lots of it. Hand your buddy a Wii remote and have at it. Just be careful not to piss off one another because chaining combos becomes a lot harder with 2 people. Or you could always dual wield if no one's around, which is also pretty cool. If you're just not in the mood for the campaign though, there are 3 4-player supported minigames to enjoy. There's a survival mode, a civilian escort game, and even a carnival target shooting activity. There's something I had to be vocal about though, sadly, and it's the boss battles. While I appreciate how unique and memorable they are, after you beat them once, you'll frankly never have trouble again. Boss patterns and behavior don't change, which makes them easy pickings no matter how tough you make the game on yourself. Considering how every other House of the Dead game has very painful bosses, this is a somewhat uncomfortable change. So in the grand scheme of things, the House of the Dead Overkill has as much value as you're willing to give it. I can see people playing this well into 2010 and beyond, or others enjoying it for about a week and trading it in. It's a matter of preference, and in the case of mine, I found Sega's newest entry to be COE Bronze Medal worthy, with a final score of 8.3 on 10. Alright, you've heard my piece, now go play this great shooter and try your best to ignore the frame rate. It's been a pleasure, and for more information about this game, check out my full written review on ProjectCoe.com.